There's nothing, no words really can describe what I feel for Tika and how beautiful she speaks, and with her passion and her knowledge. I really do have the utmost respect for this young lady. And Brother Toxic, you already know we locked in, brother. So I appreciate everything that you bring to the table as well. Um, I do want to submit this to everybody that's listening. Yes, Africa is the root of who we are. Our roots are there, irregardless to how we may look at it, how we may appreciate it. Uh, yes, over here in America, African Americans, we have, you know, gone through so many different things to become the people that we are. I would like to talk about a guy named True Storian. He's a very eloquent and knowledgeable young man that's on YouTube, and I listen to him constantly. And one thing that he said that was so profound to me yesterday in one of his lives is that although be it we are raised by our mothers, we are not our mothers once we grow up, once we go out here and experience our own lives. But in all essence, our mother is still a part of us. And to me, that symbolizes Africa and us being African Americans. Although be it, we are not Africans by living on the continent of Africa. Africa is still in us. It's in so much of the things, or so many of the things that we do, the words that we speak, the way that we love on each other, the food that we eat, the dancing, the music. All of this is still innately African. Yes, we've taken this these characteristics and we made them our own. Why did we do that? Why is it like that? Because we are in a different place. We are in a different time. And just like my son is off in school, in college, he's not me, but he's still a part of me, and I'm still a part of him, no matter how far away he goes. And that's the thing that we have to get back to. And one last thing, in respects to Brother True Story, and again, there are so many other brothers on other platforms. We're trying to get them to come over to TikTok to share with us all and help edify us all as we continue to move forward. But when we have our African American brothers and sisters, or I'm not gonna say it like that. Let me rephrase this. We have people who look like us in this community that has this disdain for Africa and that particular part of who they are. They've allowed white tea supremacy, internalized racism, and the likes to win. But I am proud. I am proud to be in the company of all of you guys on this panel, and the people in the chat, and the diaspora who have not given up, who will not allow these people to win. Yes, we know that this has been a long battle. It's gonna continue to be long. We've come so far, but we have so far to go. So when I came across the Blackwater and the TikTok sick, when I came across John, and more recently Tika, Kofi, more recently, I'm so happy to have found you guys and to be a part of this community. Irregardless, together we will get out of this, out of the circumstances as far as the diaspora is concerned. And I definitely hope that it happens in my lifetime. Thank you.
Wow. I mean, I must say, I'm actually blessed to have you guys, this giant on this platform. Oh my God. I'm so blessed to have you guys, knowledgeable people, to come and contribute and bring everyone together. And I must say, I have the finest. And I'm proud that I do. Buffalo soldiers. If you mistake yourself and come to this den to cause confusion, you are in the wrong den, because there are people who are going to hold you accountable and they will fish you out. We don't play here.
We don't play here. This is black intelligentsia at its best, at its finest. And like I say, sometimes we get into these conversations with these people who have fallen for the okey doke, the proverbial okey doke, as we say in Detroit. However, the truth, science, understanding, unity, and all of that stuff is on our side. Their numbers are small. Their voices are loud. It's contrary. It's skepticism. It's all of these things. And I know that our people are susceptible to these things. However, intelligence, preparation, like the brother said, and steadfastness is what's going to keep us going forward and be successful and continue to be successful. Because if you think about it, the last 2-3 generations of our people have been the most successful generations since our emancipation, whether it be economically, educational wise, again, standing up. We have the best generations. We have to continue to build on that and not allow those naysayers, not allow those agents of chaos to rule. We've seen that happen. We've seen these people come into our communities, the Dr. Yorks, the Yahweh Ben Yahwehs, the Noble Juralis. We've seen these people come into our community and infect them with all of this false sense of reality. But we have to continue. All y'all.
I'm sorry. I thought that your phone might have rung. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it did. But I was just saying we have to continue to press this. We have to continue to push this information out here because although we all love the internet, it's a blessing and a curse. For me, it has introduced me to the brilliance that we are talking about right now, but it also has allowed the ignorance to gain a lot of traction and a lot of attention. But we have to continue to push the truth to our people to hopefully help those of them who have fallen asleep and they're still asleep. They live on these particular false premises. They've fallen for these false ideals. But we have to continue to be the ones that push that out there for our ancestors, for the voiceless, because our ancestors, although be it left us a lot of gems, they are not here to stand up for themselves now. But I always steal stuff from people I admire. And Blackwater, I stand on the shoulders of giants just like you do, brother. I think we all do. So again, man, thanks, Kofi. Thanks to all y'all. And I look forward to working with Brother John for real.
Thank you, Black. First, one thing, I appreciate you, my brother. We all stand on the shoulders of giants, even if we don't recognize that we do. And I've determined that we would sit across the shoulders momentarily. And then at some point have the intentions of standing back. But with that in mind, and I know that, it's a fairly oversight. This is not Brother Kofi's live. This is Brother TM's live. But at the it's okay. It's you're here, what's most important, etc. And so just wanted to make certain that you were aware of that. So make certain that you follow this, brother. And then what I did is I made the error, and I want to apologize to my sisters right now. To Tika, to Afritude, as well as Ericana. I did not recognize you guys, you ladies earlier. It was not an intentional oversight. It is something that I did, I'm not thinking and mentioning and recognizing Tick Toxic and John, etc. And so I want to now, to thank you all for standing as well and supporting the giants in which it is that we stand on. But for you, ladies, then there would be no giants, and we understand and recognize that completely and fully. Sister Tika, I appreciate you coming up. and standing on business, as you say. I use that expression every once in a while, and then when I say it, I start kind of grinning right after saying that, because it's such a it's such a new term to me, etc. But I appreciate you standing on business, and I appreciate the fact that you have validated what it is that I believe and understand that I stand for, etc. I appreciate you, Sister Aptitude. I appreciate the fact that you have taken and built, a successful business, that you go beyond and outside of, the day-to-day management of your business, as well as your developing strategy, scaling, etc., and taking time as well, to contribute to those that are looking to learn and find their own vision and their own way in this in this world, in this which it is that we live. And so I honor you ladies, and I apologize that it is that I did not do so initially, prior to even mentioning either John or TikToxic, etc. So I ask that you forgive me, but at the very same time, we understand the role that our women have played, and where it is that we are today, and will continue to play in delivering us and liberating us from this colonial mindset that many of us are subjected to currently. And so, if you would, I certainly do appreciate it.
Hello.
We appreciate you too, Blackwater.
I appreciate you too, Blackwater.
And we like when our men lead as well, so that's okay.
Exactly.
Hi, ladies, Nanny and Afritude. To my kings on the panel, TikToxic and John and TM and Blackwater and whoever this person is right here. I appreciate my kings. I am new to all of this right here, this panel, and to the information. I just started on my journey, and it's a spiritual one. And thanks be to the ancestors, in the universe, for such knowledge and for such people such as yourselves. I'm more of a loner, so I don't really get to talk to people. So here I'm actually getting to talk to some really knowledgeable people. I heard the conversation earlier, Blackwater. I was very insulted by what the woman had said to you. You are an elder, and we need to learn how to respect our elders. I appreciate your wisdom. Even from last night, I said something that was you didn't agree with, and I liked it the way you correct me. I can take corrective criticism. You see what I'm saying? With all this information here, we are so rich. You know what I'm saying? With the people that are around us that are upholding our legacies for the future, and upholding our ancestors, because our ancestors are living through us. They died. They walked this earth to prepare the way for us. And as Malcolm said, by any means necessary, we have to defend it. And I see that you're all defending it. We're all one people, as Afritu says, as Nanny says. We're just in different places. And we can't forget Mama Africa. That is our mother. And we are her children that are spread abroad. Not because we wanted to be here, but we were brought here by force. Okay. And we have to uphold Mama Africa. We have to love her, even on the different parts that we were taken to. We still have to pay homage to her, to our people that are on the continent. And we have to embrace each other, love each other. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we know, we learn from our brothers and sisters on the continent. And they also learning from us. All of this is a learning experience. And it's time, to unite and just love on each other. I love each and every one of you, and I don't even know you. But I love you all. And I love how you protect us from those of us that look like us, that don't want to be a part of us. It's a shame that we have to go against each other in such a matter, a strong one like this. It's sad. But I do appreciate those who love each other, respect each other, and want to press on in this movement. And I love this Pan-African movement. And I land this plane.
And guys, let me tell you this, and so we're having a feel good moment, and that's all fine and dandy, as I think I would hear my parents say from time to time. But be reminded that that there are here on the panel several individuals, Afritude, as well as TikToxic, and I think that Black Ferks may have, myself included, and perhaps even others that I'm unaware of, that have built successful business models. And so beyond the good, the nice feeling, the goody, feeling, etc. What we must do is create, as John said, is generational wealth. And we must do so very simply by, if you don't have a plan, by devising a plan. Whatever that plan is, devise a plan, have that plan based on whatever your vision is, and start moving towards that particular vision. And if a portion of that vision, if it is, then great. If it's not, still yet, it doesn't matter. You must develop a vision and move towards that vision. If a part of it is perhaps on a part-time basis or a full-time basis, considering the African continent, one of the 54 countries, I encourage you to reach out to John. But there is a life that exists outside of these United States, and if you've not traveled to the African continent, and then your impressions of what Africa is based on magazines and television and the mass media, etc., then I encourage you to take that first step to travel to the continent. And I would think, with limited exception, there's one person that I've heard make disparaging comments and have proclaimed to have been to the continent, etc. But under most circumstances, without that exception, what I believe it will do is change your mind about what it is that you perceived based on access to Western media, etc. And then, as well as John said, it's easy, and I don't want to make it seem, to simplify it, but to take your skill set, whatever skill set that is, and to develop a business, in the right country, with the proper guidance, etc., will offer a lifestyle that you cannot, regardless as to where it is that you're living, that you probably wouldn't have access to here in the U.S. And so, be reminded, the feel good stuff is really, really important, et cetera, showing kindness and kinship and respect and admiration. But at the end of the day, be reminded that, it's about business, building relationships, building business relationships, etc., so that then future generations, your future generations will not be in a circumstance or left to confront a circumstance in which it is that it becomes even more difficult. Over the next 25 years on the African continent, and I know a lot of you have heard me go through the data so many times, and I won't go through. Don't wait, especially those of you that are young, and most of you are. Don't wait for the 25 years and end up in 2050 sitting back and saying, I wish that I had, I wish that I did, I wish that I'd done this, that, and the other thing. 25 years ago, actually 26 years ago now, I made my first trip to the continent, and then on the very moment that I hit the ground, I realized I am coming back here. The one thing, if I have any regrets, is that I didn't do it any sooner. sooner than it is that I'm doing now, etc. But it doesn't mean that I missed out. What it is, it means is that it wasn't the timing wasn't right. And so over the last 25 years, I prepared myself and done so really adequately to be able to have an impact not only on further creating generational wealth, but as well as to have an impact on the lives of individuals and communities, etc. And so in all of it is that the getting that we do, we must as well, think about how it is that we can impact and have an impact on other individuals' lives, etc. And so, please keep that as well as at the forefront of your thoughts and the discussions here. And so, the connecting, the diaspora is certainly important, but we live in a global community, a global capital community. You must understand how it is that you're going to participate fully to your capabilities. And I'm suggesting to you that if you're looking for the emerging markets of tomorrow, you're going to find no greater place on the planet than there on the African continent for you to be able to execute whatever that mission, whatever that the vision may become, etc. So with that in mind, dear host, I will roll it back over to you, and I appreciate each of you.
Blackwater, you're right in what you said. Can I finish something, Toxic?
For sure.
I'm collaborating with, I'm a cosmetologist. So I am collaborating with a young Nigerian woman. We became very good friends 3 years ago. And her name was African Unite Force, and she had a YouTube. And that's how she and I connected. And we've been friends ever since. So we collaborate, and she's working on trying to get me over there to the continent, because that's where I want to be living at, and maybe in the next 2 or 3 years. But because I'm building up my finances here. But you're right, it's good to take your skills, and that's one of my skills. And I know they love beauty, products on the continent. So that would be my contribution to the continent.
No, that's exceptional. So with that in mind, I think that we've got a new guest on the panel, Dasani. I'm not certain. I don't think that you've made your submission. I see that you mentioned someplace in the chat that you disagreed, and so if you would make your submission and then share with the panel with that which it is that you disagree. And so I'll mute and welcome to the panel, sir.
What's good? I don't know what you mean by submission. I'm new here. I don't know what that means. Like, I guess introduction.
Well, whatever it is that you would like to submit, the host does have a banner there, which would be to your right, I guess, if you, or to your left, depends upon how you're looking at it. And the question is why do Black Americans, FBAs, pretendians, and other Black people get offended when they are called African? Next is being called African an insult? Next, and if that is the case, why would some of them speak down on the continent? And then please educate. So with that in mind, may I were there questions about the banner itself? And what it is the discussion has kind of moved more broadly, if you would, away from those specific questions to include matters that we believe to be related. And so I'm assuming that the host brought you up. Welcome to the panel, and please feel free to make that submission regarding the banner or whatever that is in the context or under the umbrella of the earlier discussions.
I apologize for interjecting. I'll be dropping right now. I just wanted to thank you, Blackwater, the host, and the sisters that's on the panel, as well as the rest of the brothers, Toxic, John, Dasani. Thank you.
Thanks, Will. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Okay. You have a good one. Yeah, so it was about the first one. Why do Black Americans, why would they not want to be offended when they're called African? Simply because I'm not African. I wasn't from Africa, so I wouldn't be African. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's why, in my opinion, I don't call us African Americans. I call us Black Americans. When Africans come to America, they're African Americans. They're from Africa, and now they're American. Every other country does that. Indian Americans, Chinese Americans. Why are we born here and we're African Americans? We weren't from Africa. We're Black Americans. So that's my thing. Let's see. It's being called, I wouldn't say it's called, it's not an insult. I wouldn't say it's an insult. You know, I would say it's a beautiful place, beautiful people. I wouldn't say it's an insult. That's just not who I am. And is that what some say speak on? Is that why some of them speak down the continent? I wouldn't say wouldn't say that's the reason. I would say maybe it's because when some Africans, let me say that, when some Africans come over here, they think that they're better than Americans.
And here again, I apologize. And I'm not sure why it is, that young man would determine to join the panel, given his views, and so I looked at I make this assumption naively, of course, that the profile pic generally is going to depict the individual that's behind it, and I'm finding out more and more that is false reasoning on my part, etc. But here again, so we still yet are able to move on and wish him the very best on his journey. It's not been my experience, and so I want to address that really quickly. I've never experienced, and I say never. I'm a 60-year-old, and I have never. And so I've been around, if you would, and affiliated with, as well as friends with, individuals from the African